The Make America Healthy Again movement has been growing in numbers and power rapidly over the past year, and one of their top priorities has been to expose and stop the corrupt pipeline between government regulatory agencies and pharmaceutical companies. Leaders of the movement, like Casey Means and her brother Callie Means, have rightfully been pointing to the very blurred lines between market actors in the healthcare space and the government bodies that supposedly exist to hold them accountable, but more often than not, are working hand in hand with them behind the scenes. One of those agencies is the infamous NIH, where the ties that bind run tight. From public private partnerships to licensing agreements to research collaborations to massive taxpayer funded grants that pick up the cost of testing and research and development for these private companies, they are essentially operating like arms of the government. And by the way, those companies then get to maintain 100% of their profit when all is said and done, while taxpayers incur the bulk of the cost and the risk. A rose by any other name, I'm pretty sure we'd call corporate welfare. Now, not only are the financial components between these two entities unethical, so are the actual practices. Since Fauci's reign of terror finally came to light during the pandemic, thanks to the White Coat Waste Project's investigations, it's been no secret that the NIH funds animal about 50 different ways. But that was supposed to change in the second Trump administration. There actually was a new appointee to run the NIH that had been vocally opposed to all of these practices. And so a lot of us had a lot of hope that they were about to clean house over there. However, since April of 2025, when Dr. J assumed his new role, the agency has awarded at least 22 new grants totaling $24 million to pharmaceutical companies for experiments on dogs. In addition, the NIH has also renewed or extended 23 existing grants and contracts worth an additional $72 million to fund drug company dog labs. Now, oftentimes when I bring these facts to light, I often have people jumping in my comments to defend the science and to say this is just a necessary evil, that it's okay that we're doing this because it's going to save lives. Those people are just like shooting from the hip. That's not even true. As the White Coat Waste Project pointed out in its investigation, these tests are taxpayer funded, but they do not appear to be legally mandated by any regulatory authorities. Nevertheless, the NIH continues to underwrite dog testing for private companies, effectively subsidizing parts of Big Pharma's R&D agenda and dogs in the process. And it's become increasingly evident that barring intervention by Trump, they are going to continue to do so. Americans oppose the situation on multiple fronts, from the animal torture issues to the corporate welfare injustices, continuing to sell taxpayers out, to the inappropriate coziness between market actors and government agencies that are supposed to be regulating them. There is literally something here for everybody to protest. Maha's done a great job exposing the fact that these things happen, but if they actually want to ensure that they stop, there's going to need to be heavier pressure on these agencies.